Hi, welcome to Tiny Teacup Reads. Thank you for being here. I have another quick book review for you today. This is Stepping Up by Sarah Turner. This is just the German edition that I have here. I was actually given this book by a coworker back in August. We were ending the school year and we always exchange a little something just to celebrate making it through the year, and she gave me this. I started it in the summer and it got about a third of the way in before I put it down and got distracted and totally forgot about it. But I picked it up again in early March and decided to give it another go, and I really enjoyed it. I do have to go on a quick tangent before I tell you about this book though. Can someone explain why the German titles of English books that they choose are always so cringy? So in English this is called Stepping Up, which is a completely acceptable title, but the translation for the German title would be Behind the Clouds, the Sun is Waiting. Which is ridiculous. It's so cheesy. It sounds like a Hallmark card that you give to somebody in a hospital. But regardless, this book was published in 2022, so it's a fairly recent one, and it is about 430 pages long. It is a contemporary novel set in the UK, and it is told in the first person by Beth, who is in her early 30s, and her life is a bit of a mess. She can't keep a job or a relationship and is living with her parents when her life is overturned the day that her sister and her sister's husband get in a car accident. The husband dies while the sister is left in a coma, which means that the care for their 14-year-old daughter and their 3-year-old son is left to Beth. Everybody doubts if Beth will be able to rise to the challenge, including Beth herself. But along the way, she is helped by her parents, her best friend Jory, and the elderly neighbor Albert. I give this book a 3.5 out of 5 stars, although I did round it up to a 4 on Goodreads. It is pretty predictable and follows a lot of the tropes of the genre, including the best friends who secretly have feelings for each other but don't want to ruin their friendship, the troubled teenager who is acting out and doesn't know how to open up, the precocious toddler, and the overbearing mother. But I still had a good time reading it, and if you are a fan of chick lit, I think you might really enjoy this one. I only have 2 major problems with this book. One is that I feel like I was cheated out of the friendship between Beth and her elderly neighbor. It is set up that he becomes not just an important member of her own life, but also the wider family, and that just kind of didn't really happen. They have a few conversations and they get along pretty well, but I just wanted more. They begin a book club, which is just the 2 of them, and I thought that was so cute, and I expected that to be much more relevant to the plot. They only read 2 or 3 books, 2 of which Beth doesn't even really bother to read, and we're just told that they get together to discuss these books. We're never actually shown it. So it felt less like a genuine friendship and more like Beth was just kind of humoring the old guy next door, and I feel like that was such a waste. My second big issue was with the romantic relationship between Beth and her best friend Jory. I feel like it was just kind of shoehorned in. It gave the vibes that an editor or a publisher said that with this genre there has to be a romance, and it was just kind of added in. And that is also such a shame because I really like Beth and Jory as friends. Jory gets a serious girlfriend and Beth really struggles with her feelings of jealousy over that. And I think this could have been a really cool portrayal of a friendship that goes through a rough patch and comes out stronger on the other end. It would have been so refreshing to see a friendship between a man and a woman that remains platonic. But I get it, this genre pretty much requires a romantic subplot. I just don't think it was done well. I never believed that Beth was genuinely in love with this guy. It always just came across as like juvenile jealousy that he was no longer spending all of his time with her. There was never any like genuine yearning on her part. There was no like, oh, his girlfriend is so lucky that she gets to wake up next to him every morning and see his beautiful face right away. I wish that was me. No. It was always just kind of the vibe of, oh, I wish we were just hanging out at the pub, chilling and drinking like we always do, but he's with his girlfriend again. I think she just wanted to date him so that she could have him all to herself. So no, I was not rooting for them to get together because they're so obviously soulmates. I was rooting for Beth to go see a therapist to address those codependency issues and also maybe go find some hobbies of her own. I did really like the relationships between Beth and her nephew and her niece and how those developed over time, as well as Beth's own character development and how she goes from being completely overwhelmed by the situation to really rising up to meet it. And I like that it was done nice and gradually as well, so it felt really believable. So if you are a lover of the genre, give this one a read because you might really like it. So what about you? Do you have any recommendations for books that are similar that you think I might enjoy, maybe with a better romance? Please let me know in the comments. that's it for me. That's all I have for you today. I hope that you have a wonderful day, and I hope that I will see you in the next video. Bye!